That is the 26th annual American Black Film Festival on Miami Beach on June 12th to 16th. Get your tickets now at abff.com because everyone has a story and yours belongs here. Welcome to this pre-show of our Unleash Your Audacious Confidence show, which will be live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be on Win Win Women TV. But if you want to join the American Black Film Festival, go to abff.com/Miami. It's happening June 12th to 16th. You don't want to miss it. Now, I want to welcome all of you who are viewing. Listen, this is a juicy show, and I got so many notes. I don't even know that I can go through all the notes that I have on this topic. And I'll share the topic with you in a minute. I just want to welcome everyone who's watching on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. Thank you for watching. And if this topic is something that impacts you or you want to know more about, number one, make sure to come join us at 5 o'clock during our live show. But also, leave it in the comments. Let me know what your challenges are, because we're talking about both personal and professional, how this can impact your life in either positive ways or negative ways. And there's a lot of it impacting people in a negative way right now. And so we're gonna dive into this and talk about this. And if you have no idea what the topic is that I'm talking about, I'll share it with you in a minute. You have to probably go ahead and follow me so that you know what these topics are that we talk about during our show, because it's all about building audacious confidence. And some of these topics that we're talking about impact and affect how you're able to, move about in this life confidently, how you're approaching situations, how you're approaching your personal and professional life with confidence and stepping out, especially with audacious confidence in everything that you're doing. So first of all, let me tell you how to join the show live at 5. In order to join the show live, I want you to go to redcarpetceo.com. So if you go to redcarpetceo.com, when you get there, let me show you how to get on the show. So right here, when you get to redcarpetceo.com, you got to, let me find the button. You're going to scroll up, and right where it says join the show, you're going to join the show. When you hit that button to join the show, guess what? You come to our site for Win Win Women TV. And when we go live, that button changes color and you can join the show from there. So go to redcarpetceo.com, scroll up until you see join the show, and you can be a part of our live studio audience. And as a live studio audience member, not only do you get to watch our recording live, but once the recording ends in 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes of the show, we have a live Q&A session. So you're able to interact, engage, whether it's just me or me and a guest. You're able to be a part of the Q&A after our live show. So go ahead and be a part by going to redcarpetceo.com. Now, let me get to the topic at hand, because the topic is, like I said, it's a big one. And we're dealing with accountability. How does accountability impact your professional and your personal life? And how does it especially impact your confidence? Not just your self-confidence and your confidence in what you can do, but it also impacts your confidence with others. Not just how you view others, but how they view you. So all around, it can either have a positive impact on you and your confidence, or a negative impact on you and your confidence. Now, the reason I chose the topic for today of accountability is I've been having a lot of discussions with leaders, with senior leaders, with chief HR officers, with CEOs, COOs, and one of the things that keeps coming back, one of the themes that keeps coming back over and over in our conversations and our discussions about their um, either their direct reports, their teams, people in the organization, even their peers as leaders, is this idea of accountability and responsibility and taking ownership. It's like the I've heard I've heard them talk about that nobody's willing to take accountability for things, that things are getting falling through the cracks, and nobody's taking ownership of it. And in the work that I do with leadership development and teams, and helping teams become more productive and more well, highly efficient, highly productive, and not just be more productive in work, but also have joy in what they're doing because they fit the role. Even within these conversations, these pre-conversations before I work with anyone, I'm hearing this coming up over and over again: the lack of accountability, the lack of responsibility, the lack of trust, really, that's happening in organizations. And I bet it's spilling over into every area of life as well. And so one of the things that I'm looking here at my notes, because like I said, I have pages and pages of notes that I had taken, is I'm going to go through during the show, during our show on Win Win Women TV. So if you go to redcarpetceo.com, you can join the show. I'm going to go through the personal and professional effects, the tax, what accountability is and what it isn't. Yeah, how it impacts your life. What's really happening with you? Are you someone that is accountable? Because then it gets into self-trust. Can you trust yourself? I did a show, I think several months ago, on self-trust. And that was one of the things, is accountability. Like, if you say something, if you say you're going to do something for yourself, let's say New Year's resolutions, right? You say, maybe I did it for New Year, for the New Year. I think that's when I did that show. But you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it, or you put it off, or you just, it's like, no big deal. Well, that erodes your own self accountability, and it erodes your own self trust. And if you have low self trust, then it's, number one, easy for you to not trust others, because we tend to mirror back to people what we believe. So if I can't trust myself, how can I trust you? And this is all subconscious behavior. So we have a lack of self-trust because we can't trust ourselves to commit to what we said we're going to do for ourselves. And with that low trust comes, in business, comes more time to get things done, because there are more processes you have to go through. There are more checks that you have to go through because the trust is low. There's more skepticism. There's more convincing. There's more trying to enroll people because the trust is low. People aren't taking action. And then profits dwindle. You take a hit financially because of low trust. So low trust, low accountability will lead to low profits and long time to get anything done. So your time is impacted and your bottom line is impacted with low trust. When you build that self accountability, when you build that self trust, then you're actually able to not just trust others, but you're also you're able to give trust a lot easier than before. And that way, in order to get trust back, you give trust first. So when you give trust, when you give that first, by yourself being accountable, not just accountable to you yourself, but accountable to others. But when you give that accountability and when you give that trust, guess what? Others start giving it back to you. If you don't know how to do that, and you don't know how to give how to be accountable for yourself first, then the accountability to others is something that you try, but you're not always consistent in it. Every now and then you'll slip up and you'll be like, oh, I was supposed to be on time for this thing, but I'm not. I'm late. If you're working with someone who's always late all the time, they're never on time, then you start not being on time because they're not on time. So, that now, remember I mentioned it impacts time. So now time to get things done is delayed because they're not accountable for the time that they need to be there. And then you become not accountable for the time because that they're not ever accountable for the time. So you wait and you don't hustle and you don't get ready and you don't show up on time. And then all of a sudden, things that are supposed to start at a certain time don't start till much later because now both of you are late because nobody's taking accountability. Nobody's saying, hey, we said this is the time we were going to start. This is the time we need to be here. I don't know what it is that you need to do. If you need me to call you an hour before, make sure that you're here on time. But you need to be here at this time so we can get this thing going. So it's not just you showing up on time is enough. If others do not show up on time, it's you making them accountable for the time because this is your time too. So making them accountable for showing up on time. So that's one of the things, just one of the areas in accountability that impacts your time, impacts your business, it impacts your speed to money, your speed to profit. So accountability can impact you in a business sense very significantly if little things that you're supposed to be held accountable for, you allow to continue to just slip. And I'm not talking about being militant. I'm talking about raising your standard. I'm talking about a standard of excellence where you're raising, I think last week we did a show on excellence. No, 2 weeks ago, we did a show on excellence. And so it's about raising that standard so that you're operating in a spirit of excellence, and accountability is that spirit of excellence, being accountable. So for your time, for your money, for others, it's really important. So I'm going to go deeper into this during the show. We're going to talk all about this. I'm going to meddle a little bit, tell some stories as I do, tell stories on myself like I often do about accountability and the things that hinder your accountability. And I'm recently reading a book, Speed to Trust, The Speed to Trust by Stephen Covey. And so that's a very impactful book. Thank you, Jermaine. Yes, that's a very impactful book if you haven't read it yet. And of course, I'm always reading a bunch of books. And if you want to see my countdown, so I'm on a countdown to 55. I'm going to be 55 in 48 days, I think. I'm going to be 55 in 48 more days. So I'm doing a 55-day countdown to 55. So if you want to be a part of that, connect with me on social media. So I'm only sharing that on Instagram, on Facebook, and on TikTok. So if you've not connected with me yet, go to alicia360.com and connect with me. We're doing 55 days of countdown for my 55th birthday. And I'm being accountable to myself by doing this. It's not easy to come up with something to share with you guys every day for 55 days straight. Oy. that's it's challenging because I'm being like open and vulnerable in a lot of these situations. So come join me today at yay 55. Thank you, Jermaine. Come join me at redcarpetceo.com for Unleash Your Audacious Confidence show. Remember, scroll up, go to the join the show, click on that button. You'll come to the Win Win Women section of the show. And then when we go live, that button changes color and you can come join us in our live studio audience. So until then, have an amazing rest of your Monday. And I will see you guys, and don't forget that we replay this, we encore this on our YouTube channel. So it's so important to join our YouTube, be part of our YouTube subscribers, because then if you miss it live today, if you're not able to be there live today, we encore it on our YouTube channel on Fridays. So you're not going to miss it. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll get a notification when the show goes live. So if you wanted to see it and you haven't been able to jump on live, then come do it. Come subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch it live. Yes, Jermaine. Blessings. Genesis 6:3, long life. He satisfies us with long life. Yes. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So come subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, that's it for me. I've been here way longer than I intended to be, but accountability is big, people. It's huge. And I want to give you some tips to becoming more accountable in your life and some things to speed up the rate of accountability on your teams. All right, I will see you live at 5. Mwah.